In the ancient cradle of civilization, where the rivers Tigris and Euphrates cradled mighty cities, there rose a kingdom ruled by a man named Namrud. He was no ordinary king. Tall, broad-shouldered, with eyes that burned like coals, Nimrod had conquered lands from the mountains to the seas. His armies were unstoppable, his treasuries overflowed with gold, and his people trembled at his name. But power had twisted his soul. Nimrod looked at the stars, the sun, the endless fields, and declared his court, "I am your Lord. Worship me, for I give life and I take it away." The people, fearing his wrath, bowed down and built temples not to the Creator, but to their king. Statues of Nimrod stood in every square, and priests chanted his name as divine. Anyone who dared question was crushed. Families torn apart, voices silenced forever. Yet in a humble corner of that same empire, a child was born who would shatter this illusion. His name was Ibrahim. From his earliest days, Ibrahim gazed at the world with wonder. He watched the sun rise in splendor, only to set in weakness. He saw the moon glow bright, then fade into darkness. He observed the stars twinkling like distant fires, yet they too vanished with the dawn. "These cannot be gods," young Ibrahim whispered to himself. "They rise and set. They are created. There must be one who never changes, who controls all without being controlled." His heart burned with the truth of Tawheed, the oneness of Allah, even before revelation fully came to him. As Ibrahim grew, he began speaking openly. He walked into idol temples and questioned the worshippers. "Why do you bow to stone hands that cannot harm or benefit? Why feed idols that never eat?" The people laughed at first, then grew angry. Priests reported him to Nimrod's spies. Whispers spread, "A young man is challenging the gods and the king." Nimrod, hearing this, felt a flicker of unease. No one had ever questioned his divinity so boldly. He ordered Ibrahim brought before him, not in chains yet, but as a curiosity. The first meeting was electric. Nimrod sat on a golden throne, surrounded by guards and sycophants. Ibrahim stood alone, calm, his eyes steady. Nimrod sneered, "So you are the one who denies me? I am the giver of life and death. Bow and live." Ibrahim replied softly but firmly, "My Lord is the one who gives life and causes death." Nimrod laughed. Thinking he had an easy win, he clapped his hands. Two prisoners were dragged in, one a criminal condemned to execution, the other spared on the king's whim. "See," Nimrod boasted, "I give life to this one, death to that one. I am your God." The court cheered, but Ibrahim was not impressed. He looked up at the sky where the sun blazed in the east. "Very well," he said. "If you are God, cause the sun to rise from the west instead of the east tomorrow morning." Silence fell like a stone. Nimrod's face darkened. He could kill men, but he could not command the heavens. His tongue froze. The courtiers shifted uncomfortably. In that moment, the mighty king was utterly defeated, not by swords, but by simple logic and faith. The Quran records as crushing truth. So the disbeliever was utterly defeated. Nimrod waved Ibrahim away in rage, denying him grain from the royal stores as petty revenge. But Allah provided for Ibrahim's family in miraculous ways. Sacks of dirt turned to food by divine will, teaching Ibrahim that true provision comes only from the Creator. Word of the debate spread like wildfire. People began questioning Nimrod's claim. Temples stood half empty. The king panicked. His priests, desperate to regain control, accused Ibrahim of blasphemy. "He mocks the gods. He must die," they cried. Nimrod saw his chance. "Burn him," he decreed. "Gather wood from every corner of the kingdom. Build a fire the world has never seen. Let it consume this rebel, and let all see that no one challenges Nimrod and lives." The people obeyed in fear. For days, they hauled logs, piling them into a mountain of fuel. The fire was lit. Flames leaped hundreds of feet high, so hot that birds fell from the sky dead. Animals refused to approach. Even the executioners shielded their faces. They bound Ibrahim with ropes and placed him on a catapult. As the machine hurled him into the inferno, Ibrahim's only words were a quiet dua. "Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient for me, and He is the best disposer of affairs." He asked nothing for himself. only that Allah be pleased with him. The crowd gasped as Ibrahim disappeared into the roaring blaze. Namrud watched from a safe distance, smirking, certain his power was proven. But then, something impossible happened. The flames, instead of devouring, began to twist and cool. A voice in the heaven commanded, "O fire, be cool and safe for Ibrahim." The heat vanished. The fire became a garden of peace. Ibrahim sat calmly in its center, unharmed, conversing with angels. Flowers bloomed where ashes should have been. The ropes burned away, but his skin remained untouched. Hours passed. The fire eventually died down on its own. When the smoke cleared, the people stared in disbelief. Ibrahim walked out, his clothes pristine, not even the smell of smoke on him. The crowd fell silent, then murmurs grew. Their gods could not save them, but his Lord saved him. Many hearts turned to the truth that day. Namrud's face twisted in fury and fear. His empire was cracking. He could no longer claim divinity when the heavens themselves had intervened. But Namrud's arrogance knew no bounds. In secret, he plotted revenge. He summoned Ibrahim again, this time pretending reconciliation. "Join me," he offered slyly. "Rule by my side. Your God has power, let us share it." It was a trap. Ibrahim refused. "I worship only the one who created you and your kingdom." Enraged, Namrud ordered his armies to hunt Ibrahim. The prophet fled with his family, but Namrud's spies tracked him. In a dramatic twist, one of Namrud's own daughters, secretly moved by Ibrahim's miracle, helped him escape. She smuggled food and messages, risking her life. When Namrud discovered her betrayal, he had her imprisoned and tortured. Yet her faith only grew stronger. She died a martyr, her last words praising Allah. Years passed. Ibrahim continued his mission, building the Kaaba with his son Ismail, calling humanity to Tawheed. Namrud, meanwhile, descended into madness. He built a tower to reach the heavens, claiming he would challenge Allah directly. But divine justice was patient. One day, while Namrud sat on his throne boasting, a tiny mosquito flew into the hall. It landed on his arm. He swatted it away, but it returned persistent unseen. It entered his nostril and burrowed into his brain. The king screamed in agony. For years he suffered, his head pounding as if armies marched inside. No physician could help. Finally, the mosquito ended his life. Proof that the weakest creature in creation could topple the mightiest tyrant when Allah willed it. Namrud died in torment, his empire crumbling. Ibrahim lived on, honored as Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. His story echoes through time. Arrogance falls, faith triumphs. The fire that was meant to destroy became a sign of mercy. The king who claimed godhood was defeated by a mosquito. This is the Waqia of Hazrat Ibrahim AS Namrood, a timeless reminder that no power on earth can stand against the will of Allah. If the story of courage, miracle, and divine justice moved you, hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss more inspiring tales from prophets. Turn on notifications and join our community of truth seekers. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Allah knows best.